Hello, how's everyone doing? It has been raining all day today and I have been loving it. I've also been baking tons of bread, by the way. But anyways, today we are going to make another low effort type video because I'm still kind of lazy slash burned out. But anyways, I don't know what else to say for the intro, so we're just gonna jump straight into it. I am going to react to the 1-star reviews for Project Zomboid. We're gonna make this into a series. The first episode, which is today, is gonna be me reading negative reviews for Project Zomboid, and the next one I'm gonna do Stardew Valley, perhaps RimWorld, Oxygen not included, but I'm open for suggestions. Anyways, let's get right into it. Okay, now let me make sure that this actually works. Project Zomboid, I actually didn't know that it actually has very positive and not overwhelmingly positive review, so yeah, let's get into it. Let me scroll down to the review section. Where is it? Here. Okay, we're changing it to, wait, where's the review part? Here. Negative. Anything else? Playtime over 10 hours, just to be fair, you know, over 10 hours, just to be fair. And yep, let's go. The first review was made just recently, July 2nd. As a former employee of the Indie Stone who worked for the game for 5 years, really, it appears this company is in the midst of a major restructuring. I mean, I've heard that too, so that's fair. Several senior members of the team who have been present for years and contributed major aspects of the game's current design have been let go in quick succession under the purview of a small group of recently hired developers from the AAA industry that were brought on. I believe the purpose of this restructuring is to make the company leaner and more attractive as an investment to a potential buyer. These appears to be a major scaling back of bland game features following dismissal last year of a senior developer responsible for setting up several major systems for the game that lend its current look and feel. Unfortunately, it appears Project Zomboid is undergoing a transformation that may end up stripping away most of what gave it its unique appeal. If you're a fan of this game, please be prepared to lower your expectations. This company's previous aspirational approach towards the game's design is being abandoned in pursuit of a marketable, minimum viable product. 330 people found this review helpful. Now, I did not expect to read this kind of review. 2,800 hours on record. That's a lot of hours. Now, I may be a little biased because Project Zomboid is still by far one of my favorite game. It's the game that I streamed the most. Like, it kind of kick-started my streaming growth on Twitch. I have like 1,000 hours ish on Steam, and it is by far one of the game that I have the most hours in. So again, I may be biased. I honestly don't know the politics behind the developers team of the game, so I can't really give my opinion on this because I do want to be careful of what I say because everything on the internet stays permanent. Anyways, but if you know about this whole fiasco issue, I've actually heard and read things about the developer team changing, restructuring. Some people say that it's good, some people say that it's not good, like this review. So let me know what you guys think. Now let's go to another comment. Let's read this one. 500 people found helpful. I've been following Project Zomboid since the very beginning, but after over 10 years in early access, I can no longer recommend or support this game. The developers have had more than enough time to deliver a complete, compelling experience, and yet the game still feels like an unfinished skeleton held together almost entirely by the modding community. The base game has grown stale. Without mods, there's simply not enough meaningful content, depth, or fresh gameplay to keep it interesting long term. The modders are the ones actually delivering that. what the Indie Stone promised years ago. Big modders have been punished or straight up banned for reasons that have not been made transparent. These are the very people who've carried the game on their backs for years, creating essential quality of life fixes, new systems, maps, mechanics, and massive overhauls that the official updates failed to provide. Watching the team alienate their most dedicated supporters has been incredibly disappointing. At this point, I can no longer support them. The modding scene is what made this game special, and the devs intend on killing the golden goose. If you're only playing vanilla, you're getting a shallow, dated survival experience that's been stuck in development hell. If you're relying on mods, good luck hoping they don't get targeted next. Not recommended. Save your money and just play something that's actually finished. Again, I honestly am not in the whole PZ fan base or modding community, so I don't know how they're treated. I don't know what the laws are about modding. I do have to say though, I don't remember the last time I played vanilla. I always play with mods, and it has to be like at least, I would say 30 mods, because it does lack a lot of quality of life issues. And even for the newest build, Build 42, I don't think a lot of these quality of life problems were addressed. Some of them were. Again, I don't have a lot of hours in Build 42. Most of my hours were like in Build 41 with a lot of mods. But I didn't like that a lot of quality of life aspect. They didn't really change or improve to put in Build 42, and instead they just added a bunch of new things, which in my opinion is a nice to have but not a need, for me, personal opinion. I also enjoy PZ because it's very easy to play with friends, very multiplayer friendly, very modding friendly, and for how cheap the game was, you can get a lot of hours in it, like no DLC, no pay to win kind of situation. Everything is free, so I do appreciate that. But I honestly don't know how the modding community and stuff are treated, like in this comment. Again, if you have experience or you know someone that have been mistreated, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always up for tea. Okay, let's read maybe one short one. This comment's funny. This game sucks and it's hard because it's hard. Urban zones include cities, towns. That one shed a mile from the road. Build 42 sucks, Dilgus. How old is this person? 15? This is currently the best zombie survival game. It's a shame that the devs will only give minimal attention to it, that the modding community moves at a far faster pace, and that every update breaks set mods. This is a forever early access project, much like a zombie. The bones are good, but the meat is rotten. 13 years and this is what you have to show for it? It really dropped the ball. 82 hours. I mean, you get kind of like a cheap game and you got 82 hours in it. I feel like it's somewhat worth the money in my opinion. Like for indie, I feel like I bought it for like $10, maybe less. I'm in Vietnam, so my Steam store is significantly cheaper than the US or like European store. It was quite cheap, and I would say 50 hours on the minimum is already pretty much worth it, to be fair. So yeah, forever in development, and now with the fiasco that is going on in the company, will never exit early access. It might, but in a church state that is typical for companies led by a Karen type, greedy super managers. Now I'm invested and I want to know what's going on with the whole tea. Hold on. Let me Google. Okay, so I did a very quick Google. What is going on? The drama with the Indie Stone Project Zomboid development. And I'm just gonna summarize. So they have like a controversial AI art incident. The players accuse Indie Stone of utilizing generative AI to create their artwork. I'm not gonna make any comment about this because I will just agree to disagree. I know that people are very against AI, especially in games. And it is not the topic for today. So I'm just gonna hold back and not say anything about this. But okay, that's one thing. I think that is like a very small thing. A huge thing that I have seen is the studio restructuring. They brought on the former Realistic Moon producer Max Brode, which I already knew about this from last year. I wonder if anything new this year, because all of the reviews that I read that are negative was posted on July, which is this month, and they all talked about this whole new restructuring and greed and stuff. Anyways, they seem to have faced backlash after players suspected generative AI was used in the game's new title and loading screen artwork. Before any proof emerged, accusations escalated to harassment, conspiracy theories, and hostility. Oh my god, people need to get alive, man. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's just a very cheap game. I can't believe this. Anyways, another thing that I do want to talk about the game is the Build 42. So I'm just reading off what I'm seeing right now, but Build 42, I'm just going to summarize. Build 42 finally rolled out to its extensive, unstable testing phase, fundamentally changed core survival loops, rebalancing systems, introducing deep crafting, and making the game much harder. This is what I don't like about Build 42. I feel like they just nerfed every single fucking thing, and it doesn't feel great to play. Like, why does High Thirst have to cost so many points? Why does everything have to cost so many points? And it's just like, it's tedious. I really dislike it when developers, they instead of making the game, adding more content to the game so you can have more hours of gameplay, they just make everything extra difficult to make the game really grindy and ridiculously hard. So you would spend more hours playing it, and you play more not because the game content is good, but it's just because it's ridiculously hard. And that's something that I don't like in Build 42. Build 41, I feel like it's hard, excuse me, but it's still manageable. I joked on my saliva, I talk too much. But anyways, Build 42, it was hard, but it was still manageable. Did I say Build 41 or Build 42? Build 41 was hard, but it's manageable. Build 42 is ridiculous. I know that a lot of people are very obsessed with Build 42, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, moving on. So I'm just gonna skim through these reviews because I feel like it's a little bit of the same. It's been almost 1.5 years since we had seen Build 42 stable. I think it's time for me to judge the game as it is now, not as it was before. I want to say that Build 42 brought me a lot of joy in a lot of different game scenarios, solo, multiplayer, modded, etc. I understand that the ambitions and ideas for new features have put the immersion bar to the sky, and I waited patiently for this long time. But now I want to speak about my thoughts in this game in its current state. Okay, this is a long thing. Summarize new modding cycle, build, fix, abandon, patch, reborn, fix, etc. Yeah, ever since they put out the newest unstable build, I think it was like December, around Christmas time was when they dropped the ball, and then they just didn't really fix a lot of the issues that came with the Build 42 multiplayer, even though the Build 42 single player still has like shit ton of bugs and they never fixed it, and they just like dropped the multiplayer. But anyways, yeah, a lot of people talk about bugs with Build 42, a lot of issues, and I like the game a lot, but I don't recommend playing it. All the highs of playing with your friends are cancelled out by all of the lows of this game's bugs and remediating them. I remember reading about the developer getting upset about all the hate they're getting. I find it hard to not jump on that bandwagon myself. You won't know what's going to piss you off until it happens and you're dumbfounded. This game is not worth the emotional investment. I will continue to play with my friends on our multiplayer server, but I'm just so mad of how much progress is lost by things out of your control. One of my friends said it's best such a waste of a good game. Yeah, especially if you play on Build 42, like you can just die, and it's just like, it's not nice. That's why I am still very hesitant to this day to do any solid Build 42 run. And yeah, I don't know where this is going. I've been seeing quite a lot of YouTube videos talking about the updates and that they're gonna They're aiming to release BO42 stable by the end of this summer, pretty much by this year, which honestly at this point I don't have any faith. But yeah, I do want to read more negative reviews from the people that have less playtime, over 1 hour maybe. Let's see, less playtime. Let's see, maybe 0 to 20. 0 to 20. 16 hours. This game is so directionless and boring. You spawn in, walk around, and kill zombies with the same one-dimensional combat system of pushing or beating with a weapon. There's no objective and no purpose. Well, the purpose is you live. Come on now. It's just a combination of annoying recurring mechanics for the purpose of realism. Maybe mods would make it better, but I'm not interested in this game as a concept. 1 out of 10. I mean, I think this is one thing that you either love it or you hate it about PZ, and I personally love it. But it's okay if people hate it. I think that's fair. If you play this game, you might have a mental deficiency. What the fuck, man? Let people live. You should 100% play so you can suffer with us. No, these reviews are much better. This game is 100% way overhyped. It's like Daisy, but more zombies and top down. Is it top down? Kind of. It's kind of like The Sims kind of view. Some of these mechanics are stupid, and I just got going with my first character. When I sat down to breathe, I was looking around and tried shooting a zombie. Little did I know that's how you end it. I'm not kidding. At least Daisy, you have to press a button, then confirm. In this, you just end it on accident, and then it's a gun and you attract a ton of zombies towards your body. That's funny from the outside, but imagine it from my shoes. I'm finally starting to have fun, and then I lose a ton of progress. There's also not much to do. You survive by eating the very bountiful food, and then you either get all your skills up, boring, or you just build a base, which seems cool, but I don't think it's enough. I don't know what people expect. It's literally the game looks like The Sims. It is not like a story-driven game. Like, you don't have goals to take off like in a lot of story-driven games. You just like do whatever you want to do. You can just do farming, like, play it like The Sims, or play with a ton of mods. It's not that great. You get to eat half a can of peaches big. So frustrated with the vanilla game, it makes me insane. The game tries so hard to be realistic that it just simply starts lacking common sense. Yeah, some stuff are kind of ridiculous, like you can't exercise with your bags on, which is ridiculous. Mods fix that. Yeah, a lot of things. You do need quite a lot of mods to improve the quality of life, because it's kind of tedious. Like, once you start to mod, it's hard to go back to vanilla, in my opinion. Very buggy. Shouldn't be asking $20 for a game. Is it $20? That has issues launching and connecting to servers. Good concept for a game, but seems like it will never be finished. Lame on the creators, honestly. I mean, if it's $20, then I would say it's not worth it, but for me it was quite cheap. Yeah, $20. I feel like that's fair if you're buying the game at the full price and the game's not delivering. 12 hours on record. The game is quite demanding on the GPU for some reason, which is something that I honestly did not expect for such like a simple, not simple, it's still like an open world game. So it's very taxing on the CPU. It's not taxing on the GPU, which is expected, but it's very taxing on the CPU, which is unexpected. So yeah, one last one before we just maybe two of these before we wrap it up. I thought I would like this as I love sandbox survival, but currently progress is too delicately made and pointless. Even for me, it's a mixture of too easy and punishingly hard. Surviving in its own right doesn't feel like an achievement at all. It's easy to do, but then boredom sets in and you die to something stupid and get annoyed. I love base building too, but every little thing is just gated too heavily. You spend dozens of hours and still never get to build anything cool. Just play a different game, in my opinion. It is quite grindy game when it comes to finding a certain important things in the game. And honestly, it became a kind of a meme in the Project Zomboid community. Like, it's so ridiculous finding generators and finding the magazine of to learn how to use a generator. A lot of other things like finding the sledgehammer, also ridiculously hard. Guns are kind of hard to find, a lot of the things, but some people like it, some people hate it. I get it. It's been 13 years and they still haven't made an even remotely usable interface for anything. The interface is quite outdated in my opinion. Yeah, it could be better. This is the most blank game ever made. Works like a dead human being. I would rather have blank in my ass and eyes than run this blank. Dude, who hurt this guy? Vega. 6 reviews. Genuine walking simulator. You spend the first 5 hours walking to Louisville just to be starving, dehydrated, and uncomfortable. What? Then by the time you get to any civilization, you're already at your deathbed because every house was looted. They're playing on multiplayer server. They are. Oh well, I mean... Well, I guess this is it for today's video. I don't want to keep reading because it's quite a lot of negative reviews there. I think we've kind of summed it up. A lot of people are upset about the bugs. A lot of people are upset about how hard and grinding the games are, which are honestly, all of these are valid. It's still one of my favorite games, so I'm still biased. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope to see you guys next week. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I do post once a week on YouTube, and I stream 3 times a week on Twitch, playing whatever the hell I'm in the mood to play. Currently being obsessed with Dave the Diver. And I will, yeah, probably gonna do like low effort videos for YouTube for quite some time because I just don't want to force myself into like having to do video essays and talk about anything too deep. So we're just gonna be chill on the YouTube aspect for a little while. So until next time, I will see you and goodbye everyone for now. Bye bye.